Great result. I mean, just shows what togetherness there is here on the pitch. It's a pity about everything that's gone on off the pitch, to be honest, which will overshadow anything that's happened today. And we've had a brilliant start to the season, and yet it's going to be taken away. Looks like, so unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we only know what we read in the press, etc., about the situation. But Stewart, Yetton, you've come in alongside Joe. What's going to happen from now on, do you reckon?
We're really unsure. As far as we're aware, apparently the club goes into administration, and if investors want to come in and get involved, if they can prove that they've got the finances, I think that means they can maybe take over the club. Hopefully there's somebody out there, whether it's a group of people or if it's another individual. But this is a fantastic club and it needs to be saved. Cornwall can't not just let this club fall apart, so it'd be heartbreaking if that happens.
Okay, and the goal today?
Yeah, lovely to get a goal. Obviously, it's just a tough day to be honest. So yeah, really nice. Yeah.
And Joe, you're back. Dare I say it? You're finding your form this season again.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's nice to stay injury-free, to be honest. Pre-season's been disrupted, but I've stayed fit, which is a big change for me. So, and when you stay fit, you obviously find a bit of form. So, I felt like I started really well, but I mean, none of it really. At the moment, there's an overriding feeling of sadness, really, to be honest. About some of us have been here 6-7 years, and a bit obviously sceptical where it's going to go and what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, you're sounding really down. Is this really the end, do you think? I mean, we've been very close to it on a number of occasions.
I think this is probably the closest it can be. So yeah, it's really bad now. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully there's someone out there, another saviour. Hopefully something gets sorted. That's all we can say. So.
And final word for the fans?
Unbelievable. That's the only way we can use. We've been fantastic all the way through to all of us. And if that is the last game, then we're going to thank them because it's their club. It's not anybody else's. It's a community's club. That's what a football club is. It's for the community to get together, support, and you just hope that continues.
It was a nasty tackle from their lad, Cody. And then, I shouldn't be running that far to get involved, especially when I've already been booked, however silly that first booking was. So, I can't really have any arguments. I think the heat of the day and everything that's gone on this week will probably, probably let myself down a little bit there. But, the fella raised his arm and caught me in the chops, and it was just silly all round. I think the referee probably, other than I disagree with my first book, and I think in that instance, I think the ref probably got it all right.
And you mentioned it already, that the pressure off the pitch this week. I mean, it's no stranger to the club and to the management and to the personnel here. It's been going on for so long now that, to be frank, we're all fed up with it. Where do we go from here?
Well, it's just Monday. I think Monday's a really important day for the future of the club. We've been assured by the club that it's definitely gone into administration. There was a bit of confusion over that yesterday. The club have apologised for their statement yesterday, which was worded really insensitively. As a group of players, we said to them that the only way the club could go forward was for it to go into administration. Just out of caring for the club, not out of any other ulterior motive. That was the only way that the club could carry on. It was reported as if we said we wouldn't play today if that didn't happen, which is certainly not the case. So yeah, we'll see what happens Monday. If the club gets wound up on Monday, then obviously that's the end. The end of Truro City Football Club. Have to start under a different guise. And then if the club goes into administration, then it's still going to be a really difficult period because you've still got a process which can take months and months to resolve itself. And then you're asking players to go far beyond the call of duty and stick about with no prospect of ever necessarily getting paid. So it's going to be whichever way that goes on Monday, it's going to be difficult regardless. But you got boys in there, boys, grown men in there, really upset after that game today because they care about their club. So fingers crossed Monday will go the way everyone wants it to go, and there will be a future for the club, but it's going to be really difficult. There's no escaping that.
Certainly, yet see Joe Broadby interviewed them, the way they got the applause coming off the pitch, it was like an end of season promotion. It was amazing. Yeah,
I think the supporters have always been brilliant. I think they appreciate the situation that the players put themselves in, and that they've gone beyond the call of duty, and they're working far beyond ways that they should be expected to be. So I think that was really touching to see that from the fans. I think it meant a lot to the boys. I think that's why they were upset when they got in there. So hopefully that wasn't a farewell and a goodbye, but if it was lovely.
And if it goes away with administration, it buys the clubs a little bit of time to work out perhaps a new owner of the football club. But as a group of players, have you sort of said to yourselves, look, we're only going to stick around for a few weeks or a few months? Have you actually got that far yet?
No, we've got no specific resolution. I think, a few of the boys now are in situations, in their life where they can't afford to carry on, just with a sort of empty promise or a vague promise of nothing really. So we haven't decided anything as a group. It's up to each individual what they want to do. But I think once Monday happens, at least when we sit down, or if the club or whoever sits down with the administrator, we know how much debt there is, we know whether it's viable for someone else to come in and buy the club or take over the club. Because there's no guarantee that could happen. The administrator could get to the bottom of the land and everything, and it might prove that no one would come in. It would be a bad business decision for someone to come in. Hopefully that's not the case, but until Monday happens, we don't really know. It's like a lot of the recent times, it's just all kind of shrouded in a little bit of mystery really, so we're as much in the dark as everyone else.
And final word on the club itself. For me, it's very sad to see it like this, and what will you do if things go pear-shaped on Monday?
I'll have your job, Dave. I'll just travel around and do some commentaries.
And collect my fees?
Oh, you need them, yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I mean, it's I think it's just personally it's slightly more difficult for me. I obviously live in Truro, so to travel to play at this level, it's going to be a mission. So what I do is see what happens on Monday, and then judge it for the foreseeable future. Obviously, like a lot of the boys in there, we want to stay at the club. 7-8 years now, so I don't have any desire to play anywhere else. But ultimately, that might be taken out of our hands. So, we'll just see what happens on Monday.
And of course, small matter of a game on Tuesday.
Yeah, obviously we've got to get there on Tuesday, and supporters, lovely Jess had a phone call from the supporters yesterday, said they would happily pay for the bus, but we were told by the club today that today's takings would be used to travel to the game on Tuesday, so fingers crossed that'll happen, and that can be used to get to Tuesday's game if we're not wound up on Monday. And then we'll go again. We've played 5 games now. We've been the better team in all 5 games. So, there's a nucleus of a side there that can compete at this level. With a few additions, we're a top 8, top 6, top 8 team. So, if it works out Monday and things are positive, then it's really exciting. Not exciting, but there's a glimmer of hope. But really, I think we have to be realistic and say that's all it is at the moment.
Okay, Jack Ash, skipper at Truro City, thanks very much, and let's hope we're talking again in 2 weeks' time.
Right, yeah, thanks, Dave. Cheers.